Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I'm on my way to Croydon. Yes, I know, Croydon. Now, this road here, well, before I start, we've got a Zipcar here. So whenever there's a Zipcar around, be very, very careful. Now, I'm on my way to Croydon. Now, these two roads that I'm going to show you, I've never gone down them where this doesn't happen. It happens every single time. And I used to work in Croydon for 5 years. And this happened every single time I did this journey. Literally every single time. And a private hire, the professional driver is going to show you what I mean. There's two lanes that go right. Instead of him queuing behind everyone, he just cuts across. That happens every single time. Now we're looking at the Zipcar that's struggling to stay in its lane. The line is quite faded, but you can see it. So there's no excuse for pulling over into my lane without indicating or anything else. Especially as they don't even need to do it because they're going straight on. So Zipcars, be very aware of them because they are clueless and they can just give the car back. They don't care what they do basically.
Zipcar, innit? It's not their cars.
So we move on to the next part of this road. This happens again every single time I drive down this road. This happens. As you can see, they both go in different directions. Yeah. And the main road is the one that turns right. So that's the one that's going to have the big long queue. But obviously, there are people that think they're entitled to not queue. Like this white car coming up on the right. And I'm not kidding you, and I know I've said it probably 3 or 4 times already, this happens every single time I've used this road. Someone will do that, cut across. But remember, this is Croydon, so if you use your horn, you are more than likely going to be stabbed. Now I know I sound like a broken record here, but the rear camera, sometimes the front camera, don't do it justice to just how close people are, or sometimes how far away they are. It works both ways sometimes, but this is getting really close considering what I've got coming up.
Fucking idiot.
Okay, so that's what David Moyes is saying.
Another German car. Why so close? Can you not see that great big fucking puddle?
They're experiencing right now, Cass, but they're heading to a Wolves.
At Chelsea, I mean, you didn't stay long at Chelsea. It was one of the golden eras, but in fact, when you move on, as we'll hear about in the next part of the show, it is to a club with whom you have, with all due respect, become
Oh,
more
surprise,
associated
surprise, it's
than
another
any
German
other.
car.
You joined Arsenal as a player, and of course a part of their great double.
Sometimes I don't get joggers. They're jogging to be fit, but then put themselves in danger when they do it. What's wrong with the pavement? Perfectly good pavement right there. Moving on. Perfectly good payment right there. Must be something in the water in Leatherhead, eh?
Against Southampton, Pep Guardiola yesterday was very strident in what he was saying. He tried to flex a bit of muscle yesterday, I thought, in the press conference. I know, I can see, I'm the only one who tells the truth. I only have to
Slow
look
down,
at
you
when they
numpty.
realise what's wrong. The only one who tells the truth. I only have to
Slow
look
down,
at when
you
they
numpty.
realise what's wrong.
Just slow
Sometimes I
down.
don't have to say anything. That was the
This
tone
here
that
is
was crossed.
another example of why you should always look when crossing a road, even when you've got a green man. That guy is obviously distracted by trying to find somewhere. And if they did step out, I don't think he was stopping. There we go with this clip. You can see the guy on his phone. All legal apparently because it's in the cradle. It's legal. He's allowed to do this. It looked like he was going to take it out then, but thought better of it. Or the traffic moving stopped him doing it. But even with it in a cradle, it does something to your concentration. Obviously, because you're not obviously looking at the road. Now, 2 lanes here. That one there says it's a left turn only lane. Badly marked roads again. Got your company name written on the side of your van. And you got that there. Guess where he's going? No, he ain't turning left. Don't be silly. Now, if you look down there on the floor, it does look like there's an arrow going straight on there.
That was pretty obvious that was going to happen, wasn't it?
And if you look here, it is 2 lanes, and his lane comes into ours. But if you go by the first markings, he shouldn't have been in that lane in the first place.
Having an opinion and being upset and carrying out threatening behaviour. I mean, that
Got an Audi in front of me that's indicating. I've got a still picture, look, of an Audi with its indicator on. How lucky am I?
It's not a good place to be in. I know the club's struggling. There's obviously something.
But it won't last.
That's obvious.
There's a left turning coming up.
Things right as a club and as a group of supporters. I mean, it's a shame. It'll be a certain minority, I'm sure.
Yeah,
always in these cases. You know,
It's too good to be true. It indicated once.
To lump every Everton fan in that. But I've
gathered the club board members.
Now, I've come out of this turning before, and it is a difficult turning to come out of. But it's not that difficult that you have to do this. There's no reason to stick out like that.
It is a profoundly sad day for Everton and
Why are you sticking out? Why?
3 o'clock commentary. We know protest ban.
Stewarding operation that was there.
Just another little clip for you petrol heads.
I am looking at quite a number of messages coming in. Davey, who I presume is a Newcastle fan, guys, the entry to the ground was...
When I was at school, a long time ago now, there used to be a guy that used to come round to the schools in his lorry with all the stuff about crossing the road, and they literally used to teach you in the playground of how to cross a road. He literally built something like we're looking at now, with crossings, traffic lights, everything on it like that, so that to replicate exactly what you should be doing. Do they not do anything like that anymore? Obviously not, because of how they're crossing the road up here. There's a school just down this road, which is why they put the crossing there in the first place. But this woman here crosses like that. Now, that was a bit quick, so I'm going to go over it again and analyse it. As you can see from the rear camera there, you'll see her across the road, and she's walking towards the crossing. Stupid, absolutely stupid. So I want to analyse this properly from the front. Again, I don't see this woman until now. That's the first time I see her. Now, I can't see through the car, and I can't see through that truck. And there's a van in front of that truck as well. So I can't see through any of that. How many times have you seen a motorbike overtake down there filtering, which is perfectly legal? All the basic rules of crossing a road, this woman has broken in one go of crossing a road. She's walked out behind that van for starters as well. The kid's got a scooter, riding a scooter across a busy road. And you just know that she's the type of person that would be the one that moans the most about child safety in the school, about her poor little Chardonnay could be injured by rough play in the playground. You just know it. Okay, stupid parent ran over. Let's get back to some German cars.
Maybe get into your lane?
In this clip, we're looking at the 2 vans to my left. One's coming up the slip road and the other one's in the inside lane. Now remember, the one on the inside lane doesn't have to move over. It took a while. the one coming up on the slip road did actually slow down and came in behind it. But then as soon as the slip road finishes, the other van moves out anyway. What was the point? Might as well have moved out earlier. Now there you can just about see the worn out signs M25 and A217 in this lane. The A217 and the M25 is also in the other lane, except obviously the M25 depends what direction you want to go in. We both want the A217, so we're both in the correct lanes for the A217. He doesn't seem to understand the lane discipline on a roundabout. This lane here becomes the M25 lane on its own. This one here becomes the A217 on its own. But not his, that was my lane. His A217 lane is to the right, not rocket science.
Reason for cutting right across me there?
That's the nature of the game, both as a player and as a manager. But particularly now as a manager, you have to.
Legendary sports radio, engineered for confrontation. Jim White and Simon Jordan, the egos have landed.
There's your Audi. Doesn't get in the lane, no indication. Typical. Always an Audi.
With Simon and myself, this that you build characteristics in people by being able to praise and
I've watched this a few times, this clip, and I cannot understand why this little blue car hiding behind the wall here thinks it has priority over everything. It's a bit weird why it just pulls out.
but that's not winners, then, is it? What are you
It's not really that. What is the...
Moving on. While we're on that subject of priority and roundabouts, we'll come to the next one.
are more sensitive now than ever before. Well, I'm sorry, allowed it. No.
Now, why does this truck seem to think it's got priority?
Yeah, you got the right of way, mate, haven't ya?
Society has allowed it. I don't think I've facilitated it. Far from it. Listen, there are